have a very hard vector question. The parameters given to us is um, there are OA is the vector A, the whole of OB is the vector B, and there is a ratio of OP to PM, which we are given to be 3 to 2, and they want us to find the ratio of ON to NB. For simplicity, to begin with, I am going to work with the ratio of ON to OB, and I am going to call it the ratio of N to the whole thing, which is 1. So that makes it easier for me, because then when I want to work with ON, as you see, ON over OB is the same as N to 1, which simply tells me that ON is N of OB. So N is going to be a fraction because ON is actually part of the whole thing. So this N will turn out to be a fraction when we find it. And once we find that fraction, then we can find what P and Q would be. Now, so let's start by finding AB. So AB would be basically AO plus OB, and that tells me that that would be minus A plus B. It probably would be easier if we write it B minus A, but I'll just leave it like that at the moment. And then AM, because M is the midpoint, AM would be half of AB, which would be half of minus A plus B. And I'm going to, for simplicity, I think I'm going to take the half in, and I'm going to write it the right way up. So it'll be half of B, the positive one first, and then half of A. Now, so we found AM. The next thing I'm going to find is to find OM. So OM is, I'm just making this a little bit bigger so we can see more of the picture. So OM is OA plus AM, and we got both of those. So OA is A, and then AM is the half of B minus half of A. And when we simplify these two, so the A minus half A minus half A would give me just half A plus half of B. So since I've got OM, which is the whole thing, OM is the whole thing, we know OP is 3/5 of the whole thing. So I'm just going to write it here, a little bit more space for us to work. So OP would be equal to 3/5 of OM, which would be 3/5 of half A plus half a B, and so that would give me 3/10 of A plus 3/10 of B. So that's OP. Now that I have OP, I can find AP, and these are the critical vectors to find, because we are told that APN is in a straight line, and we're going to use that effect for us to be able to find the missing N here, this N that was missing. Right, so AP would be A to O and O to P. That would be equal to AO plus OP. AO is minus A, and OP, we just found it to be 3/10 of A plus 3/10 of B, which when I simplify the minus A, so that's minus 1 whole A and 3/10 of A, that gives me minus 7/10 of A plus 3/10 of B. So that's AP. Now then I will find AN. So AN, so A all the way to N. Now we know that would be equal to AO plus ON. Now I already have found ON. ON was N times OB, yeah, which is basically NB, vector B. So it would, so AO, and so that would be minus A, and then plus NB. So we know that these two are on a straight line, which means they actually are parallel as well. So so for showing that they're parallel, it means that they will have to be in the same ratio. So the A part has to be in the same ratio as it is the B part have to be in the same ratio. And I'm going to write the ratios as a fraction because then I can just solve it as an equation. So the AN to AP would be the ratio of minus 1 to minus 7/10. So the ratio of the A part to the A part has to be the same as the ratio of the B part to the B part. So it's just an equal fraction to solve as an equation. So I just cross multiply, and so that would give me an equation of minus 3/10. So I multiply the 3/10 by this minus 1, would have to be equal to, multiply that by that, and I get minus 7/10 of an N. Yeah, so we can simplify this equation quite simply. So if I multiply both sides by 10, these two 10s will disappear. And then, of course, these two negatives can also disappear, which then will give me 3 is equal to 7n, which will mean that n is 3/7 of the whole thing. So since n is the 3/7 of the whole thing, it means that this would be 3, and that will have to be 4. This will have to be 3, and that has to be 4. So this equation tells me that, this finding will tell me that P will have to be 3 and Q will have to be 4. Yeah, so 3 to 4 will mean that ON would be 3/7 of the whole thing, and NB would be 4/7 of the whole thing. Yeah, so that was quite hard, and I think the only thing to consider was that we used the fact that they told us that APN is in a straight line. So in a straight line means that so the AP and the AN are parallel, and they obviously join at one point, which makes them on a straight line. Okay, see you in the next video.